Hello, book nerds. My name is Megan.
I'm Deborah.
And I'm Lance. Welcome to the Middle Ground. This week, we went to the Kansas City Comic-Con, and it was amazing.
It was amazingly crowded on Saturday.
They said 100,000 people were at the Kansas City Comic-Con, and we didn't meet all of them.
We got to meet Adam Savage and have our photo taken with him.
And it was cool. I was able to talk to him for like 7 seconds and tell him how much I enjoyed his book. Every Tool's a Hammer. We will talk about that one coming up. It's a great book. I encouraged him to please write another one. I think if you guys want to start holding up the books, maybe even give a short description.
Well, first let us say that we were given the assignment that each of us should choose one book. So that makes 1, 2, 3.
Any guesses how many we actually came home with?
This is what we brought home with us.
1, 2, 3.
7.
13 in total, I'm told.
So all of these
14.
all of these are from local authors, and we had a great time talking with them at Kansas City. Many of them were from Kansas City. There were a couple from Iowa. We don't hold out against them. And no, of course we don't.
They're Midwest people.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yes, they're Midlanders like us. And we got to talk to, I think, all of these authors. There were some that we didn't get their books this time around. Maybe next time we'll catch them.
Well, some they were, like, since it was so crazy, crowded, and busy, they ran out of books.
So good for her.
Yes, bad for us, good for her.
We've read about the first 3 chapters in most of these. And so far there is one clear winner. We're going to talk about that more in a little bit. So James Young, these are some of the books that we have not yet read. Poor James Young has a PhD in American history and actually has his dissertation on the table. He has some alternative histories, including one alternative short stories that's kind of gothic. And then
It's in here. One of his stories is in here. Yeah.
It's really pretty looking.
And then a whole series of kind of sci-fi stories. This was another author I talked to, Nicholas Forrestal. Had a really great conversation with him. We've been enjoying the beginning of this book already. Probably going to be among our top picks. Stricken from History, Jay Dursky, and his friend, Brian Darr, both from Des Moines. And we've really enjoyed Darr's book. Haven't gotten as far as into Dursky. Rod A. Galingo, saw a number from him. This is a very short, it's like an intro to some of his
He said
work.
it was, I think, the first chapter in that book or series or something.
And then we got a number from Rachel Newhouse.
It's a series. It's a YA sci-fi series. We got book 1 and 2, but there's like 7 and possibly more coming. She said that she wasn't really sure how many are going to be in the series. She's like, I actually was planning on not having this many, but, you know, as I was writing, things kept developing and the longer series than she originally planned, but
These are 2 children's books by Jessica Matthews. She was a counselor in schools, and so these are specifically for preschool, kindergarten age kids. This one is about losing people and dealing with grief. And this one is, like many preschools have a feelings chart, this one is done in monsters, so it would be fun to read around Halloween time. It shows different monsters having different feelings, like a cyclops and a witch and a fawn. These are both kind of middle grade books.
And who's this? The Myrtle book.
This is by the author that lived here in Emporia for a while and now lives in Iowa. This is the latest in her series, not the first. She was sold out of the first
book 1.
So, but she said they could be read in any order, so I just picked up the most recent one.
And it's been fun to read that one. This one, Adam J. Magnum. This is again a middle grade book. We've been reading this a bit at a time. There are some things that are wrong with it, but he has a wonderful Midwestern voice.
Oh yeah.
At some
we really
point,
like that.
he knows what the Midwest is actually like.
Like there were a lot of things as we're reading, we're like, yep, that's totally how it is in a small Midwest town. He knows.
And this one, we were told, is sort of along the lines of the TV series Upload that we have been watching,
Yeah, we like
binging, but we're waiting anxiously for the next season. But anyway, we haven't started reading it yet, but that was why I picked up this one, because it was sort of futuristic fantasy.
One of the most important things I wanted to point out, this is going to be a regular for us. We're going to talk about authors from the Middle States, authors from the Midlands, from the Midwest, from Middle Ground.
So this book is actually the last book that we got. As Comic-Con was shutting down, we just barely caught both the author and illustrator as they were closing up their booth, and so we're very grateful that we got this book. And Megan and I both read it today. I'm one of those people who cries at Hallmark commercials, so I cried at least twice reading the book. It comes like in 5 sections, and when I got to the end of the first section, I was like, oh no!
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun! And at the end of one section, I was like, oh no! But yeah, the fantastical scenery and creatures just pulled me in, and I was wanting to move along with the dialogue and the plot of the story, but I found myself pausing and looking
Looking
longer at the page before I went on, but then I'd be like, oh, but I want to see what happens next!
Yeah.
So I was like fighting with myself between progressing with the story and enjoying the beautiful art. So I think both the author and the illustrator did an amazing job.
Again, the name of the book is Twig by Scotty Young and Kyle Strom. What's the shtick? What's the general story? No spoilers, but like, what is this about?
So this little blue guy with the twig hat is Twig. His father, he himself wanted to be a chef. He loves to cook. But his father just died, and since his father died unexpectedly without an apprentice, he has had to take over his father's position.
And what is his father's position?
He's the placer, the placeling. Placeling.
So a placeling has to make sure that all of the necessary materials are in place when the hero comes to pick up the talisman or
On his quest.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so if he fails to place an object where it needs to be, the world could end. The fates of all the worlds lie in his hands.
Depend on him getting this magical item to a certain place so the hero can find it and use it to save the world.
Worlds, plural.
Worlds. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. There are more than one.
So how long did it take you to read this?
I think my initial read-through is maybe, with all of my pausing, and maybe 40 minutes.
I'd say 30 minutes.
Who is this book written for?
I think for younger kiddos, some of the creatures might be a little scary. Don't you think? I don't know.
It says it's rated T for teen, and yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that it would be teen to adult.
Uh-huh.
But not because it's scary, because I don't do well with scary.
So why is this not a major motion picture or a streaming series on,
I don't know. It should be. It would be great for it. It has stunning visuals and it's a great story, but
maybe it just hasn't been picked up yet.
And this book has been noticed. What is it? Kirkus noticed it. Publishers Weekly noticed it.
they reviewed it.
You should notice it. It's a great book. It is not presently available like on our bookshop.org. It is available through Amazon, and I bet if you got in touch with Scotty Young or Kyle Strom, probably they've got some copies lying around.
Or if you go to a place that sells graphic novels or comics, they probably have it. I mean, it's imprint is Image Comics.
Mm-hmm. Once we open our physical location,
we'll probably have
put it on our shelf.
Definitely. And how many volumes are there in this series?
5.
There's 5, but this is
all
of
in this book. So they were initially published as 5 separate
issues,
comic book issues, and now this is the book that has all of them.
All right. So, coming up in the future, we will continue to go down through that stack and pick out our best ones to let you know about and give you a review. There, I realized there was another book that wasn't in that stack, so evidently we had 15.
15. Did we? Oh dear.
So we were only 15 times, well, only 5 times.
5
over
times.
our-
5 times over our limit.
assignment.
So
Oops.
It wasn't a limit. That was more of a requirement, and then we added
More of a
on.
guideline.
A baseline.
we don't have a problem.
No.
No,
not a problem.
we're not alcoholics opening a bar.
We were just
Book
talking,
nerds opening a bookshop.
we were just
Fine.
talking about that today. You know, this is us opening a bookshop akin to an alcoholic opening a bar.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, and we will keep these rolling through. There are definitely authors from what we reviewed at KC Comic Con that are going on the shelf. And really, really, especially Scotty Young and Kyle Strom, absolutely. Go get this book. You won't regret it. Yeah, check it out. Please put it in on the comments. There's a bunch of other things that came up during the Comic Con. Some of those will be in shorts. The fact that stitched binding, like, it's hard to do. It's expensive now.
Mhm.
Amazon controls the publishing market. We may look into that a little bit and find out why it's so hard, especially for indie authors, to
Well-
get stitched books published.
Yeah, I mean, I think you talked to one that kind of said that, like, it's so expensive that it's just,
Cost prohibitive.
yeah, it
They
doesn't make
couldn't.
sense
They
for them
can't
to do
market
that.
it at that price point. People would be like, "What?"
So if you get a hold of a copy of Twig, please let us know in the comments, or if you have other recommendations for Midlands authors, middle ground authors, please throw those in the comments, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
So until next time.
We'll meet you in the middle.